So I am originally from St. Louis, Missouri, very old Irish, German, Catholic river town, and I've got a degree in biochemistry from University of Missouri, Columbia, and a master's in theology at Fuller Theological. I came here to pastor a church 35 years ago. I'm still on staff. I was the senior pastor for several decades and then stepped down when I became mayor. I remember a couple of decades ago, a young Oaxacan Mexican man was killed shot by a gang when he was riding his bike to work, and it happened right outside of my church on the sidewalk. And that was a decision maker for me to get more involved, I thought, outside of just the church community, to see how can we clean up the city. I started a nonprofit called For Our City Chandler that brings together government and business and nonprofits and faith community to identify local problems and work together and eliminate the duplicity that often happens when people see problems but don't work together. So that was a big influence on me. I started that about 12 years ago before I was elected, and that was just another step in getting involved, I would say. Chandler is a great city. We are great because we adhere to very wise financial principles. We adhere to a long-term vision that we decided back in the 70s that we weren't just going to be a suburb, but we were going to be a city that attracted jobs, and the attraction of Intel, first on Chandler Boulevard and then Price Corridor, really set the stage for a lot of other high-tech companies. That we don't go chasing after a lot of things that aren't core to our mission, which is providing core services, which is providing excellent quality or service to companies and individuals to make sure that we can service our community, our neighborhoods, and our employing institutions as well. I've taken a big dive in regional leadership and specifically transportation, as we have the extension of Prop 400 coming up again. I really feel that the best way that I could look after the interest of my community, of our surrounding communities, is to provide leadership for our state and the region. So I think a lot of that is trying to set patterns of communication to where you can get on the same table rather than just have to protest, which is largely because you hear your voice is not being heard. So my role as a mayor, very similar to a pastor in some ways, is at times providing an ear to listen to people, at times providing a voice so that they can be heard, and at times providing a hand to help people up from whatever they need. So those are kind of the body parts that work for me as a mayor. I'm really proud of our community, the way we choose to work well with others, and that's just not just Intel's and Bank of America's and other organizations working together because they choose to, but just also seeing that we're better together. Something I've been very proud of as Chandler is stepping up in terms of being an innovation center. We have about 12 or 15 companies like Intel, but not just Intel, that are all in the autonomous vehicle space, whether it's NXP or Rogers or Waymo or a bunch other that are all contributing to that autonomous vehicle space. And that's something that has put Chandler on a map itself, and I'm very keen into technology. There's always opportunities to serve, and whether it's getting involved on a board or commission, Chandler has about 30. I just appointed this last month 50 people to a bond subcommittee, which we are looking at needs over the next decade within our community and how do we fund them. So we have 7 subcommittees working together, should go like this, I guess, reporting to an exploratory committee which will make recommendations to us. So I'd say get involved. We have youth academies that to show aspiring high schoolers how they can get involved. Certainly wherever you are, I'd say follow your passion and see how can you lead in that.